welcome back to our channel. Tonight we're going to be having some friends coming over, so I'm going to be making a charcuterie board on a budget. I think everything costs around $35, so everything is definitely less than $40. So if that is something you are interested in seeing, where I went shopping, what I picked up, and how I put this assembly together for this board, stick around. Okay, guys, so pro tip, Aldi's is the way to go for reasonably priced, affordable things. Here is an assortment of crackers. We got some blackberries that were 185. I got the last one. Shout out to that. That's because it was a good deal. Then we got some grapes. We went with the green options. If you want red, that is also a thing that you can get. Got some olives here. Some yummy, yummy, delicious olives. Love olives. Then we went on to our cheeses. Brie. This is a great deal for some brie cheese, and the cheese was delicious. Also got some apple smoked cheddar coming up next. Nice and good. I love smoked cheeses. Then we got scorpion pepper gouda and Havarti. I think is how you pronounce this cheese with dill. Bear with me. I can't pronounce some of these words, but I tried my best. Then we went to meats. Good old prosciutto. It was so good, on sale. Assortment of meats, including salami and two others that I cannot pronounce. Um, then what did we get? Oh yes, the nuts. Pistachio nuts, roasted, unsalted, and ended with chocolates. We chose the dark chocolate with nuts options. Grand total of 35.64. That is great if I do say so myself. All right, so then we went home and we started cutting up the cheese. I did use a cheese board and I made a cheese platter separate from the other platter with cheese and meats because of my vegetarian friends and I didn't want to contaminate. So I kind of just went around in a circle and cut this on up to the really thin slices. Then I put them on the cheese platter table. Went around in a circle, got that. Moved on to the next cheese, which was our smoked cheddar, applewood smoked cheddar, using the cheese cutter here to slice it very thinly. And I made it a point to cut all of the cheeses first because I didn't want to contaminate my hands and then touch meat after the fact. So all the cheeses were cut up first for both boards, and then I just made a vegetarian platter, and then I made the other platter next. So I lined up my thin slices of this smoked cheddar in a way that was aesthetically pleasing for me, which is this. Got some more, lined it up, looks so good already. Then I got the next cheese, which is this dill cheese, the Havarti with dill. Went ahead and cut a piece for the smaller cheese board, and then I'm going to use the other half for the bigger board later. Fun fact, thank you to our realtor who got me this cheese platter, the cheese platter board. I think she said it was like the how Georgia looks, which is where we live. Okay, so I cut a piece off of the cheese, and I'm going to use a fork to kind of crumble those pieces to kind of give a crumble look for the cheese, just to kind of add a little bit of texture to the platter. So that's what I'm doing here. Crumble, crumble, crumble. And then we have another cheese that we got, which is the scorpion pepper gouda. I'm going to cut it similar to where I did the brie, kind of going around in circles until I have diced very thin slices. So we got total of 4 cheeses, 4 pretty different cheeses. There we got the slices. I'm going to go ahead and put them on the board. Yum, yummy. Now, if you don't like these cheese options, Aldi's has a plethora of other cheese options, all within similar price points. So you can do whatever cheese you want. These are just the 4 that I thought were a mixture, a variety of cheeses that I would enjoy as well as my friends, and they certainly did. So I'm going ahead and putting the rest of these cheese thinly sliced here. And you see the little gaps. Don't worry, we're going to fill those in. So this is where your fruit comes in. So I got my grapes, taking care to hide the stems, and put it in that place there. We're going to keep filling in these gaps with fruit now. You know, always having to make everything look cute, aesthetically pleasing. And then here's our blackberries. I'm also going to put them on the board in places that just needs fill-in. If you don't want those fruit options, whatever fruit you want, you can put on here. Strawberry, whatever, other fruit, raspberry. I got some nuts as well, and also help to fill in the blank spots. None of my friends have nut allergies, so that's why I put it on these platters. But an option, if you are catering for somebody who has nut allergies, you can put the nuts in a bowl so it doesn't touch the cheeses, and people can pick from that bowl. And now I am finishing off with a little bit more nuts here to kind of fill in the gaps. It's looking good so far. One more touch, chocolates. I'm going to chop up some of this dark chocolate that I got, and I'm going to put it on the board to add texture. And some more sweets. And I think it's looking good so far, guys. Board number 1 looks pretty delicious, I think, and have a lot more ingredients left for a second board from my grocery haul. I have to chop it up some more. Choppy chop chop. And then I'm going to put it on. What do you guys think so far? Is this something that it is so easy to make? And to be honest, I literally just kind of rearranged things that looked pretty. And boom, here's our cheese vegetarian charcuterie board option without meat. Voila. Now let us get to the other board. So this is going to be our board that has different cheeses, meats. I'm going to put the crackers on here as well as the some other things, which you will see. For note, I did have some crackers that I put on a separate platter for the vegetarian platter because it just wasn't big enough to hold the crackers. So I already put the brie on. This is me now putting some of that Gouda cheese on here. And then this is the cheddar, the Applewood smoked cheddar cheese we're putting on here. And like I said, I'm just laying them out in an aesthetically pleasing manner. And you're just going to kind of figure out what works for you. I would think this is what works for me and my board. I'm not that fancy. I either do circles or I do a straight line and I layer. I'm going to do the same crumble trick here with the Havarti dill cheese. So I'm going to cut a piece off and then get the fork and crumble to add texture to the platter. Crumble. Yum, 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 yum. Or you can get a cheese. You know what? Blue cheese would probably also do this crumble thing as well and make it really, really good. But we don't like blue cheese, or I don't. Then I got a small little bowl and put some olives in there. Yum, yum, yum. And I put the olives in a separate container because it can be wet and I don't want to get other things on my board wet and soggy. So that's why I put it in a separate bowl. That's gross. Bowl. Okay. Now I have to chop up a little bit more cheese on my cheese platter. Notice I went back to the cheese platter. I haven't touched meat as yet because just in case anyone wants to grab from this, meat hasn't touched it yet. I had to get a little bit more of this cheddar, sharp cheddar to add on. And even after this, guys, I still had more of the sharp cheddar and the Gouda that I kind of just used to make a separate platter, like a just cheese on a piece of plate platter. Now, I am over here rolling up, I think this is the caprese. I can't pronounce it. I will show you how I made this flour. I didn't realize I wasn't showing you guys, but I'm going to make more flours. Prosciutto, grab some of those, kind of do a little roll on itself thing and layer it onto the platter. Just kind of roll it up a little bit and put it down. Get that all over. Added my meats, added my meats. Took a meat break and added some honey. This is some organic honey that a coworker of mine, they farm bees or raise bees, whatever you do with bees, and I bought from them. Okay, here's the folding trick. So you get about 4 or 5 of meats, and you kind of just layer them like how I'm doing here. You fold it in half, and then you're gonna roll it. Now this is different from, I think TikTok uses a glass to make their flowers a more wide flower, but I like this method, and I make my flowers tighter because it's eventually going to open up on the platter. Another trick you can do is once you make the flower, you can stick a toothpick in to kind of keep it nice and tight. But I didn't have any toothpicks, so I just kind of pinched it a little bit and prayed that it would stay cute. And if it doesn't, who cares? We try. But you could just stick a toothpick right there where my fingers is pinching to kind of keep the things together. But here we go. That is how I make my flour. And I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but that's just the way that works for me. So we have 3 meats on the platter so far. There's one more meat to go. I'm not sure what this one is called. I think this one is is this the calabrese? Another meat option. And we did the fancy rolling trick to make the flour again. And then we're going to put it on our platter. Look how pretty it looks so far, guys. It's starting to fill the space. And don't worry, we're going to get more things on here and continue to fill up that space. I couldn't decide where to put it, so I put it there. Okay, washed my hands, and I went and got my fruit, washed those as well, and started to fill in the fruits into the empty spaces, taking care to hide the stem of the grapes. Got some more grapes and filled it in. Coming together, isn't it, guys? It's coming together. Some more grapes. Like I said, you can use red grapes. I just felt like this would have added a little bit more color because the meats are kind of reddish. Took a fruit break to go ahead and add my crackers as well. So I think this variety pack had 6 different types of crackers. I plated 3 or 4 of them on the platter and then had a separate platter with just crackers and cheese with the extra cheese that I had. So people could grab from that platter as well. So I am just strategically placing the crackers in some of the places that had empty spaces. And I'm putting 3 different kinds of crackers on this platter and putting the other kinds on a separate platter. Then I'm adding back some of the blackberries into the empty spaces. Yummy, yummy, yum. I mean, doing this voiceover, I want to grab into the camera and grab one of those blackberries, a piece of brie, put on a cracker, and sprinkle some honey. Oh, yes, delicious. So continuing to fill the empty spaces with my fruit, my blackberry, starting to get filled. I even had leftover fruit, so leftover blackberry and grapes. So this probably cost even less than I thought. Less than $30 if you don't buy as many things as I did. Then I got my nuts and put my pistachios in some more empty spaces. And all these different, from the nuts to the cheese to the crackers to the meats, the honey, the olives, it's really just bringing a different texture feeling to the platter, just so it looks colorful and different components. Yeah, I am by no means a chef, but I can help myself. And then I added my dark chocolate with almonds, cut those up and put them in the rest of the empty spaces to add the extra chocolatey sweetness as well that you can take in between bites. So yummy. Love a good dark chocolate with nuts. And I do dark chocolate because it's not overly sweet. Final product, guys. What do we think? I think it looks great. And both of these boards were made with ingredients costing and we had leftovers for another board. So I really hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more videos like this, let us know. Bye bye.